audience growth, that everybody wants to do marketing to the people they already have. And that's great. That's part of it. But like, I'm going to show something. If you're watching on YouTube or on the video podcast, which you all should be subscribed to our YouTube channel. Do you see this little document right here?
Yes.
All right. So I'm holding up a PowerPoint, and there are 5 columns on this. This is the entire business plan of Flip Lifestyle that you're looking at. This is it. Like, this is it. Like this little sheet of paper, I keep printed. I keep multiple of them around. I carry it everywhere I go. Every decision that I make in our business is ran through this. Every decision anyone on my team makes is run through this. If it does not exist on this paper, it does not exist for us. It goes into what we call the idea bucket. So the idea bucket is all the stuff that's not on this that we will talk about at our next quarterly planning retreat, and maybe we'll incorporate it in this, right? Here's what happens. Okay, so there's 5 columns. There's marketing, there's audience, there's sales and leads, there's delivery, and then there's ascension. Like, this is so basically you take people from discovery to purchase all the way to buying more stuff from you. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when people launch their membership, the membership lives here, right in the middle of this column. Everyone knows they've got to go back one thing. They've got to go back one thing to, I've got to create a podcast. I've got to have social media. I've got to have people following me to get them on my email list. And then I got to market people on my email list and on webinars to get them into my product, right? And everyone focuses so much right here. But what happens is you start spinning. You see these 2 arrows that are kind of directing back and forth between these 2 columns right here. Everyone gets stuck in this loop, because that loop is very important. That's the loop where your existing audience joins your membership and your product, and they still listen to your stuff, so they gain more affinity. There's a loop here that people get stuck in, and they only market to the people that already know about them, right? But literally 75% of my time that I think about in my business as CEO, as podcast host, as the speaker, as the front man of the company, 75% of my mental energy goes to how do new people find me.
Wow.
And that has nothing to do with the content that I create. That is what they find. That has nothing to do with how they find, right? So people get stuck there. They're like, I'll just record more podcasts. I'll just make more YouTube videos. I'll just make more blog posts. But you're just talking to the people that already know about you when you do those things. Okay. So now we have to say, so let's have a new mindset here. How do I get more people to find me? Okay. So we have a couple of big strategies that we use. One is I pour money into it. Okay. So I invest money into ads, but my ads go to my podcast. My ads do not necessarily go to opt-ins. They do not necessarily go to here's my product, which everybody else does. And there's going to be a lot of people that probably tweet me on this when you hit me up on Twitter at Shane_Sams if I make you mad here. But I don't measure ROI on our ads. I don't measure it. I know if it's working because I spend less than I make. That's how I know if everything's working. But like, so what I say, no, I'm going to spend $10,000 on promoting this podcast to cold traffic. Because if I can get people to listen to my podcast, they will fall in love with our brand. And then my podcast can have an ad for my email list. And then when they get on my email list, I will sell them my product.
Wow.
So that's where you've got to focus right now. You've got to focus on, cool, I create great things. Cool, I'm a social media queen. Cool, I've got a product that converts. Yeah, where's all the new people? Where's the other million people that need this that don't know about me? Okay. Yes. So ads is our first strategy that we use. We drive traffic to our podcasts. We share links to the podcast. The second thing is what I call Dream 100. This is a strategy. I think a guy named Chet Holmes kind of developed it. And there's some other people that teach this out there. A good buddy of mine named Dana Derricks, some other people. And one of my mentors, Aaron Walker, a great, amazing guy to follow on social media, told me one time, Shane, you got to be intentional with great intentions, intentional to the point where other people feel weird about it. Like I'm intentional about the people I want to meet. I'm intentional about the podcasts I want to be on. I understand that I'm going to have to work my way in or buy my way into those relationships with those people, right? And we have a list called the Dream 100, and we at all times there's 100 people. We've probably been connected to 40 of them right now that we want to meet them and be on their podcast. Like that's kind of the ultimate goal in our Dream 100 list.
Wow.
So like, but I'm not just like passively saying, I hope I get to see them speak and they run into me, or no, it's like, Oh, they have a $25,000 mastermind. Yeah, I'm going to go buy that. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to get in that room with that person, right? I've done that before. Like I paid $25,000 to be in a place. I've paid 10. I've also put myself in the right place to be at the right place at the right time. I'll become someone's student. I'll go buy their coaching program. I'll go buy their thing. And when you pay for something for somebody and you become their customer, you end up on podcasts all the time, right? And then I'll go to events. A buddy of mine named John Lee Dumas, he was going to be at an event I was at, and he shot me a message, and there was he's like, hey man, we're having a party on top of this skyscraper. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be all kinds of people there. Like Tommy Lahren was there, like from Fox News, and like all there was country music people, stars there. And he's like, dude, you got to come to this. But I'd already planned something with some other people, and I was intentional with great intentions. I just said, hey guys, I have an amazing opportunity I did not know about. When I planned this dinner with you guys, can we catch a late nightcap or something, meet later at the hotel, and let me go to this? And they were all like, cool, man, we totally support you. So like I was intentional with great intentions. And when I got in there, man, I met like 2 or 3 people that ended up on my podcast. I ended up on their podcast. It was just it was one of the best nights I ever had in networking.
Wow.
So like, but you've got to know who you want to contact, who you want to be on. Like you got to pick the 100 podcasts you want to be interviewed on. The 100 YouTube channels you want to be featured on, the 100 people who have social media accounts you want to share your stuff. And then you got to think about it and strategize a way to get relationships with those people. So that's 2 of our strategies that we use. But like I spend 75 to 80% of my time on this line. I consider marketing discovery. Wow. New people must find me. When I'm emailing my list, that's not marketing, even though it's called email marketing. That's promoting. There's a difference. Marketing is new people. Promoting is people who already know about me.